Yeah. Evening. Welcome to my channel. I was just sitting here contemplating what I might listen to next. Today was one of those days where I sort of had something in my head that I wanted to hear, two or three records, and then hopefully more after that. It also coincided with an evening where I really just had the time to just relax, listen to some records, and maybe even do some things in the background. So I started off the evening with a classic, at least in my opinion, old Attacker record, The Second Coming. It's a great record. This was a record that came out. Um, Actually, I didn't even discover this was a 1988 album, but I didn't discover these guys until around 91. It was during that period of time when I had pretty much covered like the main bands. Like I was filling in the discography of all the main ones and trying to take out any little holes I had. So like your Slayers and all that kind of stuff. I had all of that stuff. I'd been working on some of those discographies for a couple of years, but being that I was just barely a sophomore in high school, I wasn't quite working full time yet, and I was spending every penny I could on records and tapes and CDs already. So I was starting to expand out past those bands. Like I knew that there was a lot more besides those bands, and I had started to discover quite a bit already. But I was walking through the store and saw this album used. Probably, gosh, it was probably only 8 or 9, $12 back then, and this is a very good press. It's in very good shape. Of course, it's in the same shape that it was the day I brought it home because I sleeve them and keep them right. But anyway, this when I put this record on, and I was immediately pretty blown away. Like it really let me know that there is just a ton of music out there that I don't have, probably haven't heard of, and it was both frightening and fantastic to realize that I would never have it all. So, yeah, this album stuck with me, and I did track down the other ones that were out. This was their second record, and I like all their stuff. Their initial run is really fantastic, and their comeback material and the material that they've continued to put out is also very good. I really enjoy pretty much their whole entire discography. I like everything this band has done. Great record. That's still my favorite. Um, this one, Deliverance, Weapons of Our Warfare. This is a great thrash record. I bought this home sometime in probably late 1990 on tape and just fell in love with it. This was a band that I had never heard of before, California band. Anyway, listening to this, I was completely changed. Like I had already been going in a heavier direction, and in 1990 I had even flirted with early initial death metal, just a little bit. Wasn't quite there yet, but was getting heavier. So hearing this record, the heavier thrash, it's a pure thrash record, but songs like Slay the Wicked are just so fast, at least for thrash back then, and faster than the norm, I should say. Um, Weapons of Our Warfare, Flesh and Blood, uh, Slay the Wicked. Man, this is a great record. That main part in The Present Darkness too just got me. Used to play it over and over again. That heavy part in the middle, just so good. Pretty cool. Love this band. Their first record is as good as this one, although this one still gets the majority of my attention. Um, Other releases didn't quite grab me as much, if not even close, really. Like I'll listen to them occasionally, and I like them when they're playing, but I don't, I haven't really retained it much, or not like these first two records, especially. They're pretty special, in my opinion. After this, I'll be going into this one. This is an Agent Steel Omega Conspiracy album, I believe from 1999. This is fantastic. This was the comeback album from the band, kind of the second run, And man, I absolutely adored this record when it came out. I love the thickness of it. It's heavy, speedy, just great. Different vocalist, obviously, but it's very good. Of course, the initial run that this band had is just my favorite. Um, but with John Cyrus on vocals. But yeah, they continued to put out some great stuff once they got back together. And this of all the albums that they put out after they got back together, this is still the best one in my opinion. And of course, this is just a fantastic EP. One of the things that I love about the 80s was the EP. So many bands put out wicked EPs, and this is no exception. In fact, probably one of my maybe top 3 or 4 Agent Steel songs is Let It Be Done, The Day at Guyana on this record. That is just a thrash metal masterpiece, or at least it should be. I love it. This is an original press. This was also one of the first times I ever saw like a variant in the wild like this on a obscure, at the time, obscure metal record. But this is the blue variant, the original press on Combat Records. And man, this is a fantastic one. I've got this one on tape as well as CD and all the repress. They've repressed it a couple times since then as well. Great record. Love the cover, everything about it. And finally, another band that I discovered on my quest to find bands I never heard of. This was one of those times where I was going through the record store, saw this on tape, never heard of it, looked totally different, thought maybe it was death metal at the time, because the covers kind of got that look to it. But this is pretty thrashy, heavy thrash. As I would later discover as I worked backwards through their catalog, this was quite a departure from the sound that they had on their first 2 records, which are more like melodic US power metal style albums. In hindsight, or as time has gone on, I've continued to enjoy those records as well. They've done a couple since then, and they're okay. They're fine, but this was still my favorite. This is such a heavy record. The way it's produced too is just, the sound is so thick. Like I always thought that they were trying to go for like a death metal sound, but playing thrash, and even I don't know if it's the reverb or what, the thickness of the piano intro is just heavy and ominous. It's pretty good. Anyway, yeah, love that one. So yeah, there's 5 records for the night that should suit me pretty well, and just thought I'd give a little about what I was listening to, and thanks for tuning in. See you next time.